So Russia is looking to expand the war with Ukraine and go and attack potentially NATO countries. This could send the entire world into World War III. Now, that's the story that we've been getting all morning, and I want to address where this is coming from, why they're saying this, and what this means for the American people moving forward. Now, I know this is scary. I know this is something that many people are saying that you need to prepare for, but just watch this entire video. I'll explain what's happening and why, yes, this is a threat, but it's not as concerning as you may think. So let me break down what's going on in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So in just a moment, we are going to look at the leaked information. Now, we don't have the leaked classified information. I'm not going to show that, but the reports are indicating that there's leaked German military documents that laid out a doomsday scenario where Russia wins in Ukraine and then invades Europe. Well, all over Fox News this morning, all over CNN, over just many different websites, social media, everyone's saying Russia is going to attack NATO. Now, here's the thing. I want to read you this because this is important. All right? It says right here, leaked German military documents outline a scenario where Russia goes to war with NATO. Keep in mind, they're saying right here, they are outlining a scenario. They go on to say it envisions Russia winning in Ukraine, then seeking to seize territory in the Baltics. It says militaries often produce such internal documents to help plan for worst case scenarios. So that's the first thing that you need to understand, is at this time, this is a planned worst case scenario. They are trying to plan for it. This is Germany, okay? The reason why Germany is doing this, just to give you an idea, all right? So let's pull up the map really quick. So here we go. We have Russia right here. Okay, you can see Russia over here. This is Russia. Now, I'll zoom out so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so here's Russia over here. Here's Belarus. Here's Poland. Here's Germany. All right? Now, if Russia were to take over all of Ukraine right here, there's just a small area, okay? It doesn't take much to get from Slovakia and through to Germany or Poland, all right? There's Hungary and Austria as well. Now, the likely path is this way, according to many experts, okay? Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because what we now know is that Russia has seen a lot of loss over the past 2 years. In this fight with Ukraine, Russia hasn't done as much as they anticipated. They were not expecting this fight with Ukraine was going to last 2 years, going on 3 years. That was never the case. Now it's turning into a bigger problem, because now Russia needs to put more of an emphasis on rebuilding their military. They can't just all of a sudden decide, you know what, we need to go to war, because they don't have that ability. Now, here's the concern. According to this document, they are actually anticipating this war between Russia and many NATO countries. This is going to happen in 2025. Now, here's the reason why that date is concerning. There's actually a handful of things that people have talked about that's happening in 2025. One of those has to do with China, okay? Because China has stated, and Xi Jinping has stated multiple times, that he actually warned President Biden that Beijing is going to reunify Taiwan with mainland China. Now, could that happen? Yes, of course. Will it happen? That we don't know. The other thing that could happen, and again, I bring this up because this is something I've talked about before, and it has to do with another pandemic. According to a new, it's a SPARS pandemic scenario, 2025 could potentially be the early part of the next pandemic. So not only is Russia potentially going to go to war with the rest of the world, but so if Russia decides to try to take over another NATO country, that's concerning. If we have another pandemic in 2025, another concern. If China decides to reunify Taiwan with mainland China, well, that's going to have many world powers extremely upset. So that's another issue. And then we will be coming off the heels of this presidential election here in the United States. Guess what? That is, according to experts, going to cause mass panic and chaos. And it doesn't matter if it's going to be a Democratic president or a Republican president. They say there will be mass panic and chaos. That's troubling. So, where do we go from here? Well, here's what I can tell you. This document that was leaked, okay, and I'll read you this one as well. Let me pull it up really quick. Here we go. So this one right here, it says, the documents are not a prediction, but part of a worst case scenario planning a common exercise within militaries. It says a German official called the scenario extremely unlikely. So they're already saying that it is extremely unlikely that Russia attacks a NATO country. However, this is where others say it's not extremely unlikely. Is it possible? Yes. Is it doable at this time for Russia? No. But here's the thing. If Russia can win over Ukraine, if Russia decides to pretty much attack another NATO country, if they do that at the same time, and this is why I'm bringing up China, if they do it at the same time that China tries to overtake Taiwan, the United States cannot split its military and try to attack China or try to defend Taiwan and defend NATO countries. Okay, we will not have the resources, according to experts. So we cannot split our military. Here's the other thing, and this is why I'm bringing up a pandemic. If all this is happening during the middle of another pandemic, this is where some are saying that the United States may have to hold back and may not be able to go and exercise our power and protect these NATO countries. We might not be able to protect those countries because at the same time, the more important issue would be how can we protect Taiwan? Because again, the United States is concerned with semiconductors. That's the big thing. So at this time, the United States is going to have to determine, do we go and protect Taiwan like we vowed to? Do we go and protect our NATO allies because they're part of NATO and one attack on one NATO country is an attack on all? Or do we split? Well, experts believe splitting is not an option because splitting will just make us weaker. So that's kind of where we're at this time. This new leaked document is, again, it's not a prediction. It's a plan for a worst case scenario, which German officials say is extremely unlikely. But just understand, if Russia is looking to expand the war with Ukraine, it is going to most likely impact the United States because they're going to attack a NATO country. So that's where we're at this time. I promise as soon as I know more, I'll bring you all the latest news and updates. But that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.